Howdy, well, Hippy Trev here. So we've got a bit of a problem with the boat, and I'll get to that in a minute. So roll the intro.
Hi, Hippy Trev here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you get something out of it.
Rightio, well, so we've been covered in cloud and rain for the last 3 or 4 days. It's just been pissing down. Gimpy's gone under yet again. I believe we're cutting a few spots here. I don't think we're completely isolated, but we're cutting a few spots between here and I'm not sure where. Not a lot of road reports coming through at the moment. But anyway, so yeah, finally get a little bit of a clear sky. Oh, sorry. Finally the rain sort of nicked off for the time being. We're still pretty clouded in up here. Still nice and warm. We're up in the high 20s, which is lovely. But I've got a problem with the boat and I need to get that sorted right now. So it don't drive. So I need to push it out of the shed. Alright, let's get this out of the shed. The old-fashioned way. The reason I didn't want to do it in the shed because it's to do with fuel and plenty of it, and I wanted. Alright, let's see if it's going to do it. So I had fuel coming straight up through here and just flooding absolutely everything. I took the float adjuster out, blew in that and put it back together and done the same thing. So basically got to pull the front of the carby off. The interesting thing was about, when I did the last bit of work on the car, which is when I rigged up the throttle cable there, I built out of a Holley cable, and that was working really well. And then the next day I went to start the car the next day and fuel was pouring out here, so I'd say the float level's stuck or has got a hole in it. Let's crick over and see if anything happens. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but it just pumped fuel out of here, which means this fuel float is absolutely stuck, so we need to pull that apart. And the funny thing is last week I was saying I wanted to change the jets and the power valve, so I've got to pull this apart anyway, so we might as well do that at the same time. Rightio, so you guys never get a good view in here. Actually, I might try something. I'll just have to do it like this. 8mm. Put a bit of a rag down there to catch all this fuel that's about to come out. I always like to drop this bottom one first. That one there, and that drains the fuel out. Now, I don't know why this float level's suddenly just gone on the blink, but anyway, we'll find out what's happening. Alright, let's just drain all the fuel out of there. And this is why I didn't want to do it in the shed with this much fuel around. Any idea of a spark or anything, at least out here, I'm not going to lose my shed. Let's mop up this fuel as best I can. Before I go any further. There's plenty of it. Alright. Holleys are usually very easy to work on. Usually not much to go wrong with them. So I'll get to check my jets out and see what size my jets are. I was going to go bigger. Gaskets any favour, that's for damn sure. No. That gasket's a bit dodgy. I hope I've got another one. Let's pull this murdering block off here. There we go. Give that all a good clean out as well. Rightio. I have size 60 jets. I'm going to go and see what other jets and power valves I've got. I'm not sure of the power valve. I had a few different sizes. That's the power valve. Now my main jets I'm going to change, so I'm going to go and find some stuff. The only power valve I know that I've got is an 8.8. Oh, there's some jets in this one. Right, I'm just going to go and see if I can get a reading on these. Rightio, so in this meter block I found some 65 jets. They bring me up from 60. I don't know what the power valve. I don't know what the power valve in that, but I don't trust it because it seems pretty old. Right, there's my jets. A couple of jets there. Now I've got this 8.8 power valve. I don't know what this power valve is. But we might just change the jets over first. So I'm pulling out 60s and I'm putting in 65s. See if that runs any different. I thought I had more jets than this. Got a box full of covers and floats, but none of them are suitable for my use. They're all sort of pretty much damaged in one way or another, so we'll just have to use what we got here. It's a 65 jet. Going in. Just check that one. Yeah, 265 jets in. Getting these. There we go. Right, pull this power valve. Take this power valve out. I did have them all numbered at one stage, but they're not numbered now, these power valves. It's the only one that's numbered 8.8. I have no idea what this power valve is, or was, or if it's working, so I'm just going to put it up out of the way so I can go back to it. Some numbers, so I can't quite read. Don't know if any of them power valves are any good. So we're going to use this one. Take the gasket. Screw that in. course I'll have to do a retune on this at some stage. Rightio. A little grammy bag. I can't even open it. Right, I'll drop my jets in there. Now I've just done a quick test on this. With the float level up. Oh, it's leaking. It's leaking. There's a needle and seat leaking in there. Well, everything looks fine. Everything looks okay. It's just a matter of whether this flight level's got a hole in it or not. Alright, let's go and chuck everything back on the car and see how we go from there. Reset my idle screws on the meter block. Let's get this back together, shall we? I thought I had extra gaskets, but I don't. And this one's getting a little bit dodgy. Let's hope it's going to work. These Holleys are usually pretty good for shit like this. So. There we go. Right, get a top screw in. Bottom screw. Up. Now my float level should be right, nothing's changed. You have to over tighten these, you just got to nip them up. Just go round and round. Definitely be ordering some more gaskets. Right, that should be that. Vacuum line and rehook up the fuel line. Rightio, so after a bit of hunting around, I found finally found a worm drive. It doesn't fit so well, but it will do the job. Can't believe I didn't have a hose clamp for this. I need to go and stock up. Right, that should do that. Rightio. Tickle the fuel down the carby. And let's hope she doesn't overflow. Definitely a problem with the fucking float somewhere. Let's drain this out first of all.
wind this float down. Actually, I'm going the wrong way. Right, let's take this float all the way down. Well, she's certainly pouring the fluid out. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on here. Just blowing the jet out, needle and seat. Unless that's the problem. Shouldn't be. It was blocking off. Appears that the float is actually floating. Side there. Actually, no, I'll leave that out. I better give that a mop. There is so much fuel sitting here. I don't want any of this catching fire. This should have been a dead easy fix. I'm not sure what's going on here. Float level's floating. Well, as we can see, it's just flooding like a son of a bitch. And I don't know why the fuck that is. It shouldn't be. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, it can only be float level. It's the only thing that can go fucking wrong with these things. All locked off. I don't know what the fucking hell I'm doing now. Gasket's not looking very good. The needle and seat's absolutely working. So I guess we'll go back into the shed and see if I can find out what the fuck is going on with this thing, because I've got no idea right now. That should not be fucking happening. Never had this problem before with this one. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I guess I need to see if this floats. I need to put in something to make sure it floats. There's a bit of fuel here, but I need to know that it floats. I've got that one, an old tin one. It's the only other float that will fit that one. Fuck. Floats. That's a spring on that. There's no spring on that. Alright, maybe we bolt that one in and see how it goes. Alright, that seems to work. I guess all we can do is go and put this back in. So there we go again. So far, our success rate is down. It's not very good. Right, I'm just going to screw this back in as well. That seems to be working the way it's supposed to. Now, what I might do is blow some jets out. Just give the carby a bit of a blowout. Pull that gasket off.
some fingers and not others. And always think, fuck, it happened in the driveway at home, and not out in the road somewhere. Like, looks like I couldn't have fixed this on the side of the road. Rightio, well, so what I ended up having to do, I couldn't get the float level right. So I ended up changing that over because I couldn't get the right height adjustment with that one. So that's the one that's originally out of this carby. This one I've stripped out of another carby I had, and it all seems to be running okay. I do run a fairly low idle. A little bit of a flutter down low, but I won't know what that's like until I get out of the road. I've got no fuel leaks, which is mostly important. No fuel coming up through the top of here, which is also mostly important. I'm just going to let it idle for a bit. So there must have been something wrong with that float, I'm presuming. And yeah, I'm not sure what happened with this either. So I've changed that over to get the right float level, and that's done. Really, the only thing left to do is take it for a run. So we'll do that. So that's the float level. I'll give it a bit of a listen. Now if you can hear it, that float's full of fuel. So that was the problem. This float has sprung a leak somewhere. Chocolate block full of fuel. So I don't know how to find the leak. There's nothing actually leaking out of it. It's probably just seeped through the seals. So I'm gonna have to go and find myself a new one of these, new float level. Just back from taking the boat for a run. Not overly happy with its performance. I don't think I like that power valve. The automatic's changing gears at different times. It's redlining at different times, and I don't like what it's doing. So I've got the original power valve here, which I might put back in. I'm going to run this for a couple more days, just for curiosity. So I don't know whether it likes having the bigger jets or not. So I've gone from 60 to 65, which is a pretty big jump straight off the bat. There's all my Holley bits lying around there. More in there. A few more lying on the ground down there. Most of them are all 4 barrels. There's a couple of 2 barrels down there, but most of them are 4 barrels. I don't want to put a 4 barrel on there. I've got to change too much to get that set up and working. I think I've got to buy a whole new adapter plate, so I'll just stick with the 350. So yeah, that's another power valve there, but I don't think that's, I'm not sure what that is. I had all these numbers at one stage, and now I have no idea what any of these power valves are. That's definitely what was the problem with my car. This float level is absolutely full of fuel, so it's let go. I do have different sorts of floats. They're but I don't think any of them are usable in my application. They're all spring loaded and work a totally different way to what my float level does. So I don't think I can use any of these. That looks pretty bodged up as well. So nothing much there of value I can use. So luckily I had that old tin float floating around, and I've managed to use that and make it work. I said, not happy with the power valve setup at the moment. There's definitely a change in that, but I like to run it for a couple of days and just get her out in the road and see how she feels. The pickup feels a little bit better, but it's also down low. There's a bit of a, yeah, I'm not overly happy with it. So, but anyway, world, that's as much as I can do for the day. Found the problem. Normally when they start spewing fuel out the top like that, you can pretty much straight up, it's something to do with the float. Either the needle and seat's stuck, the float level's gone too high, or as you heard with that, it can actually be fuel in the float, which is obviously what's happened. That one, the seams either come apart or something's gone wrong, but it's there's definitely fuel in there, and that's why I was doing what I was doing. It was just sinking straight to the bottom and couldn't hold a decent float level. So anyway, worlds, it's the best I can do for now. The weather's still fairly crappy around here. I've got another vid to do of all the solar panels I managed to get up on the roof, and the extra battery I got wired in there, but that's a video for another day. I didn't film any of the doing, but I'm just going to get up there and explain exactly what was done. So anyway, worlds, that's as much as I can do for the day. I'm back on the road, but I'm not overly convinced at the moment, and I think I've got a lot more work to do with that carby before I'm going to be happy with it. So yeah, change that power valve over, and I'm going to leave the jets at 65. But I'm definitely going to change that power valve over and see if that makes a difference, because right at the moment I do not like how it's working. So anyway, well, you know the drill. Stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze. Catch you later. Bye.